I don't know how many people have talked about this before, but these times that we are living through, in my opinion, would be the age of the symbol. And to explain what the age of the symbol means, I first need to tell you the difference in essence and form. So, essence is what a thing is about, form is how we know it. So, if I were to say the essence of respect shows up in the form of a handshake or a namaste or standing up for someone when they come, then respect in this context becomes the essence, the standing up, the handshake, or the namaste become the form. And the times that we're living in right now are confusing because we have switched essence and form. The reason you are seeing so many influencers growing on social media right now is that we believe that because someone has a large following, what they say is credible. Again, this is confusing essence and form. Now, I may stand up if someone enters the room, but that may not necessarily mean that I respect that person. Maybe it's just protocol, and not standing up when that person enters the room could have its consequences. So I stand up nevertheless. So the reason influencers are becoming influential even when they have nothing of essence is that we as the viewer confused what form and essence was. Because someone is popular, we have connected that with credibility. So the moment we see a very popular person talking about something, we are less likely to question him or her. This is just one of the examples of how form is being confused for essence. It's not just restricted to social media, but now it's started to cover all aspects of life. I'll give you another example. Now, let's take another example of form and essence being confused. Let's say essence was enjoying an artistic performance. Now, we confused it with its form when we started taking pictures of that performance, taking videos of that performance, and putting it on social media. Now, the person who saw our story may be under the impression that we enjoyed the performance, but the reason we did not enjoy the performance is we were not there. What was there was our attention to recording the event well so that it looks good when it's on Instagram. So, although we can say that yes, we were there at the concert, our mind was not there because we were paying attention to recording the event rather than actually experiencing it. So, this is another instance of how form has taken over essence. Now, I'll give you another example, which is these very big and ostentatious weddings that you see. So, when we see a very ostentatious wedding where there are lots of guests invited, there's a lot of money spent, there's the best kind of caterer serving the best kind of food, the best DJ available. The confusion of form for essence is that if we are celebrating the union of someone, we want to express the joy for that, and the form in which we do it is by throwing these very lavish weddings. It may or may not be true, but given the rise in disputes between couples these days, and given that lot of instances in which lavish weddings did not lead to long lasting marriages, we may be confusing throwing a big wedding with the couple actually loving each other. And the reason that we confuse this is we confuse form and essence again. So it's not about someone having the wrong intention to begin with, it's a person fully believing that they do have the right intention when they do not. So I gave you the example of how someone was not at the concert even though they were at the concert, right? They missed out on the experience of the concert because they were recording it, and that's how they missed the concert even though they were there. Now, if we take that very concept of confusing form and essence, how would this show up in our work? We may confuse putting in long hours with being productive. Because a person who is productive may genuinely put in long hours because that is the need of the hour. But that may not always be the case. Sometimes long hours may not be a requirement to do the job well. But again, because we've confused form and essence, we believe that we are doing a good job just by showing up and putting in the hours. Even if showing up and putting in the hours may not have an impact on our productivity and our performance and our results, we can still be under the illusion that we are contributing to our employer. And this is where people become very resentful of those who join after them and get promoted before them. Again, because they confused form and essence. The essence here would be growing the business, bringing in new ideas, finding new markets to go into. And the form may or may not be putting in long hours. It may be required, it may not be required. But because we confuse form and essence, we confuse putting in long hours with being productive. So I gave you these examples so that you can be aware of where you're confusing form and essence in your life. So if you think after watching this video you've been able to identify such an area in your life, do let me know.